Back to school season is here, which means it's time to share my 2 rules for making homemade Uncrustables or freezer PBJ. The first is to spread a thin layer of peanut butter onto both sides of the bread. This will keep the water-based jelly from soaking into the bread and making it soggy. The oil-based peanut butter creates that great layer there between the pieces of bread. And then you're just going to repeat making these sandwiches over and over. You can leave them just like this, or you can use a cutter tool. More on that in a second. I usually add a piece of paper towel or napkin or a piece of freezer paper in between. That will help absorb any condensation and keep them from sticking together. And I freeze them in the same bag that the bread came in. Okay, so to address a couple pieces of criticism that we've gotten over the years, you don't want to add too much jelly, because if you do, this is what happens. There is literally like a volcano of jelly and it explodes and it just will not freeze well. So you do need a thin layer of peanut butter on both sides and a thin layer of jelly in the middle, especially if you're using that cutter tool. If you're not going to use the cutter tool, go ahead and load up on that jelly or whatever other sweet treat you're going to add in there with your peanut butter. Of course, you can then cut them and do the same thing by adding a piece of napkin or paper towel or freezer paper in between to keep them sticking together. You can also take the little crusty scraps and make little muffins out of those. I've got a video about that as well. And again, freeze them in the same bag that the bread came in, and they are quick grab and go. Great way to save big money by making these yourself.